It's always game day in Cleveland. He's Daryl Ryder. I'm Andy Baskin. Thanks for being on board with us. Man, we have so many new listeners, so many new followers, especially the folks that are joining us now on YouTube. We appreciate you. And, we love your snarky comments. We love it. I got to tell you, come at us, come hit us in the face. We just don't care. Seriously, we read it and then we laugh at you. I'm just telling you. Hey, we're brought to you by Bryant and Smiley One, Northeast Ohio's heating and cooling expert. Daryl, beyond the snarkiness, and by the way, we're quickly over 1,000 viewers on YouTube. I mean, that was pretty quick. We've only been on for a couple weeks now, and we really appreciate all those people that have subscribed to the podcast. We hope we give you a behind-the-scenes look, things that are a little bit different than what you might hear on the radio. And I'm really enjoying our time, Daryl, that when we spend together and we do all these podcasts, it's been a lot of fun. It gives us a chance to talk a little bit more about what we're seeing with the Browns, and it also gives us the opportunity to kind of relax a little bit and not have to be, completely constrained by time while we're on the radio. So, Daryl, again, we jump into this. We look ahead to the Baltimore Ravens coming up on Sunday. What's the big news out of Berea on Wednesday?
I think more so we don't know who's actually going to play for the Ravens this week.
Right.
Because they are just so incredibly beat up. Here's who did not practice on Wednesday, according to reports out of Baltimore as we record.
Yeah, this is Ravens first. Okay, yeah, go ahead.
OBJ and Rashad Bateman. A couple of linebackers that I can't say either one of their names. Okay. Justice Hill and Marlon Humphrey and Kyle Hamilton. So they are battered and bruised in Baltimore, but like the Browns, they're 2-1. And
anybody out? Anybody listed as out already for the weekend? Or
no, it's only Wednesday, dude.
I know, but sometimes they'll do that. I've seen that before. I've seen it as early as Thursday, so you never know.
Yeah, we'll see. But I mean, the Ravens are beat up. They've been beat up all season. They've been dealing with a ton of injuries, so we'll see who's actually able to play for them. But that's kind of the big story, aside from the fact that Deshaun Watson didn't throw a football on Wednesday because I guess his shoulder is sore. That was news.
So does that make us? Does that put us in a position where we may see the rookie?
No, I don't think you'll see DTR. But it was kind of surprising because we talked to Deshaun in the locker room. Zero mention of the arm being sore, and I specifically asked him about taking big, massive hits and bouncing back on the next play. And he gave me nothing for an answer. And then he's not throwing a football during practice on Wednesday. Getting the injury report as we record this from the Browns.
Sure.
As far as the official injury report for the day. And they listed him as limited with a right shoulder injury. So he is on the injury report. But yeah, didn't throw a football, no mention there. And then Kevin Stefanski didn't mention anything in his pre-practice press conference either. So yeah, it was a little newsworthy that Deshaun Watson was watching DTR throw the football while he kind of did like mental reps on the field.
Did you catch any of that, or was that closed to the media?
No, yeah. I mean, it was during the portion open to reporters. So
how DTR look? He hasn't really played in a couple of weeks now. So how did he look?
They're throwing on air. There's no defense we don't see a defense on the field. So yeah,
gotcha.
There's no challenge to that. Now, granted, plenty of other
execute plays and run right routes and
plenty of other Browns quarterbacks struggled to complete passes against air. I can think of like 29 to 30 of them. So
yeah, so that's why I don't underestimate the fact if DTR is throwing against nobody, we'll take it. You got to learn somehow.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, he looked fine. Sorry, I don't have some massive analytical breakdown of a rookie quarterback throwing with no defenders on the field against him. I mean, he completed the footballs that he was asked to complete. So I guess for that, he deserves – how many stars do we give? Is it 4 stars, 5 stars? What do we do?
Sure.
What's our scale?
Are we giving away stars now? Is that what we're doing again? I forgot.
We can.
We can give away footballs. What we're doing on the radio show is giving away beers because the Canadian government, now the United States government – did you know we have an alcohol czar, by the way? In this country.
Wait, what?
We have an alcohol czar.
Cleveland does, or the country?
No, the country.
I had no idea.
I didn't know how long it was. I mean, it's just so we were taking it. So the government is going to recommend that instead of 2 beers a day. It's going to be 2 beers a week. So Jeff and I, I rarely drink and Jeff never drinks. So we're yielding our beers to other people. So we'd have to do a different shtick on this show. But
yeah, I don't drink either.
then you know what? Then you now have 2 beers to give away to someone else in the United States. And who would you like to share a beer with? Tell me what members of the Cleveland Browns you would like to give your 2 beers away to.
I don't think I want to share any beers with the Browns.
No, you have to. So the way we play the game we do need them sober, but you can say cheers to one of the Browns. Like I'm trying to remember who I gave my beers away to last. Oh, I gave Jim Schwartz my beer, and then I also gave Dustin Hopkins my beer this week.
How about this one? How about this
for like player of the game, right?
Yeah, but how about this for a bit?
Okay.
Hold my beer.
Hold my beer. Okay.
Yeah.
So maybe we do hold my beer on this podcast, and we'll do give my beer on.
You try and one up somebody or something. Something ridiculous happens, and something even more ridiculous happens after that. That's hold my beer, right? Because that's what we say all the time. Hold my beer.
So I would say hold my beer on the play that took the Browns 16 yards from the line of scrimmage that was going backwards. That would be a hold my beer play, yes?
Yeah, I would consider that to be a hold my beer play.
Cade York during the entire preseason, hold my beer
I was going to say the official ruling Amari Cooper out of bounds. That's official hold my beer play, right?
Well, he apparently had a few beers before he made that call because there was no way on earth any official would have said he stepped out of
those beers from the midday show, did you?
No, I didn't. I didn't give. I was positive, and Jeff, I think, was picking on negative things, and they weren't necessarily the Browns either. So,
okay. But yeah, we can do you guys do the giveaway beer on the midday show. We can do hold my beer on the podcast.
All right. So, who are you saying hold my beer? Are you giving the officials?
I just told you. Yeah, the blind mice or mouse on the far sideline that said Amari Cooper was out of bounds. Are you kidding me? Oh, I got a big time hold my beer.
Okay.
For Myles Garrett not getting defensive player
that's a good one.
Of the week, right? But
I've never seen a player that actually on defense that you could have said that's a 3-point play, like the sack at the end of the first half. That was a 3-point play. That should have been defensive player of the week alone on that play. Who won?
Yeah, so Bills linebacker Terrell Bernard won. And the reason he won was because he became the first player since Brian Urlacher in 2007 to record 2 sacks, an interception, and a fumble recovery in the same game.
Could have been a good week for co-defensive player of the week, right?
Yeah. Now, Garrett, 3.5 sacks, 5 quarterback hurries, 3 tackles for loss, and a forced fumble, plus a partridge in a pear tree.
And a rejected field goal, right? For a team that ran out of timeouts.
I guess.
I'm giving him 3 points. That sack was gigantic, and it changed the whole momentum of the game.
No, I don't disagree with you. That was one of the pivotal plays in the game. That, as well as I would say the series where, or following Elijah Moore's fumble, that got recovered by Tennessee in the red zone, forcing the Browns to play red zone defense for the first time this season. The 3 plays that followed that saw the Browns push them back and combined 9 yards. I think it went like 2, 4, and 3, something like that. On the next 3 plays, negative yards, and then they had to kick the 44-yard field goal to tie the game. But I would say the Garrett sack at the end of the half and that 3-play sequence that preceded it, those were the pivotal moments in that win over the Titans. And hopefully this week against the Baltimore Ravens, depending who the Ravens are actually able to put on the field, Myles Garrett and company will be able to repeat said performance.
So, Daryl, when you look at the Browns defense right now, is it where you expected it to be, a little bit less than what you thought it would be, or a lot more?
I don't think there's any way it could be less than what.
I had to put the option out there, Daryl. I mean, like when you go to take a test, there's always one dumb answer in there. There's always drive on the wrong side of the road thing.
And I'm not going to give you the dumb answer. How about that?
Okay. Well, good.
I would say it's a lot better than I thought it was going to be. I knew they would be improved. I was very confident that the defense would be improved. I was not confident that it was going to be historically improved, right?
Daryl, I don't know if you know this or not, but when you watch the Browns defense stymie these quarterbacks, they're throwing less than 50% a game. It's amazing to watch this defense just completely shut down the other quarterbacks. Like, these numbers are historic. I wish they were a little bit less. That would make them even more historic. But now that we look at this and we say, hey, how are those other quarterbacks doing against the Browns defense? I can look you right in the eye on this podcast. If you're listening, that kind of sucks for you. But if you're watching on YouTube, I can look you right in the eye and say, Daryl, a little bit less than 50%. And that is outstanding, my friend. Outstanding. There's your 16%. You can put it where the sun doesn't shine. Thank you for ripping me an entire podcast.
Yeah, by the way, they're completing less than 50% of their passes.
Yes. What did I say?
I don't know. It wasn't that.
No, they're less than 50% on their passes. That's what I was saying.
Oh, man. But that I gotta that's some of the best sass you've ever had.
I did it to you on the air and you didn't bite. Let's come back. We've got more of It's Always Game Day in Cleveland coming up. We're going to talk some offense and we're going to dive into the Baltimore Ravens. How much do you hate the Ravens? Like, really? Did they not steal our team? Does anyone remember that? Does anyone remember history anymore? It's Always Game Day in Cleveland.